When you work on a skeleton crew in a massive wilderness area, your job operates on strict routines. You check campsites, clear trails, and occasionally respond to medical calls. The distance itself is a physical barrier. To close one of the remote campgrounds for the season, it requires driving 8 miles out, and because the road ends at a parking area, hiking the final 2 miles strictly on foot. The standard operating procedure for a final sweep is clear. You verify no one light gear behind, check for damage, lock the gate at the trailhead, and make sure you're out before nightfall. Out here, help isn't coming quickly. Sticking strictly to those standard protocols is normally the safest way to manage the risks of working in total isolation. But that routine breaks when you find a small, dark green two-person tent set up in the far corner of a campground that has been locked shut for a week. With normal campers, you expect to see signs of life. And sure enough, there was a cooler next to the tent and a pair of boots right outside the entrance. Then a man walks up the trail. He's wearing jeans and a flannel shirt, but he's carrying nothing. No backpack, no water bottle, no survival gear. When asked, he claims he arrived 2 days ago. He says, "I walked." That ignores the physical facts. The trailhead gate was locked, and he didn't have a car. He doesn't respond to commands to stop. He just keeps walking toward the tent, slow and deliberate. His eyes are flat, void of emotion or expression. In response, the ranger makes a tactical error. They step directly in front of the uncooperative man to physically block his path to the tent. Treating this like a standard rule violation creates a dangerous illusion of control. You cannot use normal verbal de-escalation on an entity that ignores the physical realities of the space. This grid maps the encounter's data points against anomalous profiles to evaluate the threat. The first profile is a revenant echo. This assumes the man wasn't a physical being, but a localized, non-sentient recording of a past event replaying itself. This fits the aftermath directly. After an hour, the tent was empty. The sleeping bag, the backpack, and even the boots outside were gone. A search of the entire area found 0 footprints leading away. The survival protocol for a spectral echo is straightforward. Maintain strict non-interaction and leave the localized manifestation zone immediately. Standing there trying to enforce park rules on a memory is pointless. It wastes your operational resources and exposes you to psychological trauma, even if the direct physical threat is low. Now look at the second profile, the flesh mimic. This evaluates the subject as an apex biological anomaly, using a human shape to lure prey. That flat, unblinking stare marks a failure of biological mimicry. It functions as a tool for target fixation. This makes the decision to step inches in front of him a dangerous miscalculation. Blocking a mimic's path is an immediate escalation trigger. You force the entity out of passive luring behavior directly into an active hunting phase. Trying to assert standard authority over a predator gives you absolutely no tactical advantage. Instead, you're placing yourself within fatal striking distance. The final option on the matrix is a dimensional time slip. This suggests the campground itself sits on a localized tear in space. If someone packs up a camp, they leave disturbed dirt and footprints. A lack of physical traces points to a shift in realities, rather than someone just packing up and walking away. This is why waiting alone on a picnic table right next to the tent for 2 hours is an unstable environmental hazard. The ranger's timeline and the entity's timeline are bleeding into one another. That's how he can honestly state he arrived 2 days ago behind a gate that you locked yourself. Loitering on those exact coordinates means you're betting your life on blind luck. You're trading a clear, immediate path home for the risk of spatial erasure. Let's map the survival ROI. This chart plots adherence to duty on the bottom axis against physical danger on the vertical axis. The moment of tactical failure happens right here. Agreeing to wait outside pushes the risk into the extreme red. This happens because of normalcy bias. As a professional, your instinct is to treat this deeply unsettling situation like a routine camper violating the rules, just to maintain a sense of order. The dispatcher told the ranger to observe and not engage, but observation is useless when the subject defies all known parameters of human behavior. When the data in front of you clearly breaks the laws of physics, treating your standard operating manual like a safety net turns it into a liability. This scorecard outlines the trigger for abandoning your objective. You have impossible logistics, missing gear, and a flat affect. The optimal response to this specific anomalous profile is simple. You initiate a silent, immediate, and unhesitating physical withdrawal. You must prioritize putting physical distance between yourself and the threat. That overrides data collection, any personal curiosity, or completing your assigned task. You might face professional fallout. You might even have to explain to a manager why you left a site unsecured. But that is a cheap price to pay for guaranteed survival. In deep isolation, the ultimate objective is recognizing an unwinnable threat and choosing